Hey guys, my name is Danish and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about continuation of the Ultimate Setup Guide series, and this is what part 3.5. I'm sorry I'm being a bit cheeky. I'm not going to part 4 because the part 4 will be the conclusion with this monitor as a result, but I forgot to show you stunning b-roll of the tower that I built last week, and also I didn't have a chance to talk about performance metrics, so today we are going to tackle both of these topics. So without further ado, let's just get started. So for the build, such a beautiful colorful rainbow PUK build. And we're back, and let's just get directly into the performance metrics that I have tested all the way up till now. That is basically, these are all the stock numbers that you will get from a similar build, or if you are going to build with the same components, you will have a ballpark of what your PC will perform. So let's start out with Cinebench. Cinebench R20 is a CPU intensive benchmark, so it pushes the CPU to 100% and see what max it can perform. I got the single score of 596 for the single core and 4250 for the multi-core. So the single core was bang on, where AMD stated that they would have about a 600 point performance to run at 100% all day at 4.3 GHz and not going down at all, which was an awesome experience. And I'm just on a 240mm radiator, so I haven't hit anything above 70 degrees at full load at all, so I'm pretty happy with the temperatures, and this will probably give me some headroom when I overclock in the future videos. It will come soon, so get subscribed to the channel. The next test is Unigine Heaven. So this is a pretty common benchmarking tool that overclockers use to see the stability of the overclock they are pushing, either with Precision Boost or MSI Afterburner or whatever tools they are using. Unigine Heaven just runs in the background and just starts to show the level of stability when you push it too hard, so you can just draw it back a bit. I have played with it a bit, but for these numbers, this is all stock numbers, so I got a Heaven score of 7295 with an FPS of 289.6. So this is 1080p at high setting. I don't know why it wouldn't run at ultra settings for benchmarking. I have to look into that, but I have just kept it at 1080p high and going to keep that same parameter for all the rest of the testing that I would do. The next two tests are graphic and CPU combined. These are the 3D Mark Time Spy and 3D Mark Fire Strike tests. So I got a time spy score of 10,749 with the CPU score being 7,549 and the GPU score being 11,620. Fire Strike overall was 24,744, graphics was 28,831, the physics was 24,488, and the combined was 12,087. So these numbers are just arbitrary right now and just may sound weird to you guys, but as I progress going through all the different types of overclocking for each component, they start to make more and more sense, and we can just make this as a baseline so we can see the performance improvement with multiple tests. And these are the scores that I have gotten from doing multiple runs, and it was an interesting experience, and I'm pretty excited to do the overclocking. So overclocking with the RAM, the CPU, the GPU. It's gonna be an interesting fun weeks coming forward, because I want to push the system to a bit more and get at least 10 to 15% more performance out of it. So those are my goals, but let's see how far I can go with that. Talking about the CPU, it hasn't pushed more than 75 watts of power peak consumption at 100% load, which is amazing. And the GPU has pulled about 220 watts at 100% utilization, which is pretty, even if you combine both of those, it's around what, 295, 300 with a bit of overhead for the motherboard, the cooler and all of that. It's pretty satisfactory that I have a 650 watt power supply, so an upgrade in the terms of CPU and GPU. The GPU temps really didn't go beyond 70 degrees C, so that also gives me a bit more headroom over there to see how much I can pull out of this card. And it's a triple fan card, so the cooling is bang on and pretty overbuilt for a 3060 Ti and probably more suitable for a 3070. So that's going to be some fun to explore that. And so talking about gaming, so I did play a few games, but the two main ones that I have tested out properly by concentrating on testing and not playing was Rise of the Tomb Raider at 1440p, very high settings, preset, and I got a overall score of 109.06 with Mountain Peak getting a 127, Syria getting 101, and Geothermal getting 97. So these are pretty high scores compared to what my MacBook got. That was around 10, 15, 20 FPS at most, and so this is a big jump for me. And the bigger jump that I have observed is in CSGO. This is a game that everybody plays. It's an esport title. It's not that difficult to run, and on my laptop at 720p low settings I was getting less than 80 FPS, sometimes 100 if the system was cold. Now on this system at 1440p high everything, I'm getting 370 plus FPS. My jaw dropped to the ground the day I played CSGO and saw the frame rate running over there. I think my game has improved over here because I don't have that much of an input lag or the frame lag that comes in. So I have been making a few good shots here and there, flicks that are working, which is never going to work on my laptop. So it's slowly becoming more and more fun, and I want to start streaming whatever I game, and because I like to talk about games and talk to people, so that might be another direction that I want to go, but that's far off right now. I don't have a plan to start it yet. Follow me on my Instagram channel for any updates I put on all of my channels, including my Moto channel and whatever gaming I want to pursue. And the monitor review is coming up next week. I have been using this for a couple of weeks now, so there won't be any first impressions. It will be a direct review of the monitor, including color calibration and all of that, so stay tuned for that. I guess that's the end of this video. I'm going to follow up after the monitor upgrade and complete my setup, and don't worry about this microphone, that's just up there when I'm not using it. It does come down. For now it is up there because I don't want it to block this monitor, and this monitor looks a bit tinted because it's at an angle to you and it's pretty old. But when I'm sitting, it's pretty clear, it's pretty good. And I use it mostly for iTunes or music or whatever I want while I'm doing something on the main screen. So I'm rambling a bit, so let's just end this video right here. So if you like this video, give this video a like, get subscribed to my channel and ring the bell icon to receive notifications on all of my videos. Follow me on my social media channels, which are linked in the description below, and I'm going to have all the parts for this tower also linked in the description below from Amazon, which you can go check it out if you're interested. Oh yeah, also comment down below if I missed any tests that you want me to do, and I'll test it out for you and put down the scores. Stay home, stay safe. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.